Hi, it's Question Tuesday, where I answer real questions from real nerd fighters. Niall's not here, I'm not Niall. Niall's having trouble, so he can't film, so let's go. Becky asks, favourite musical, most embarrassing moment. As far as musicals go, I don't really have one because I've not really seen any, to be brutally honest. So I'm going to change the question slightly and say I used to be a big fan of Disney movies. Particularly Nightmare Before Christmas. And most embarrassing moment, arranging travel for me and two friends. What I thought would be cheaper, turns out we could have travelled for 2 hours by a direct train. Instead we travelled 4.5 hours via a change, going the long way round. I've got on a t-shirt now. You'll never forgive me. Kevin asks, how many hours on average do you sleep a day, and what do you do when you're not vlogging or insulting people? I usually sleep about 8 hours on average, and as far as the other question goes, apart from working of course, and vlogging and insulting people, what does anyone want in life? Ben asks, best owning you've ever dished out, non-explicit, and also, who the F is Dave? Funniest owning I ever dished out was at an anime convention where a friend of mine saw a group of people inside a costume which made a Star Wars walker, seen here, and he asked, do you think there's more than one person in there? To which I replied, no Steve, it's a clever combination of pulleys and legwork. To which two women in front of us burst out laughing, said, oh that's brilliant, and one shook my hand. Yeah, Steve hasn't forgiven me for that either. And who the F is Dave? Dave is a minor god in Norse mythology. He was the being in charge of inappropriate laughter. Connor asks, who or what inspired you to do the YouTubes, and who's my favourite artist or band? I've been inspired by John Green, Stuart Ashens, Meg, Elliot, and my favourite band at the moment is probably Coheed and Cambria. I've been obsessed with them for years. My bro Eric asks, favourite Pokemon from Generation 6 and best video game memory. Favourite Pokemon from Generation 6 I actually have two. One is Aegislash, just for how ridiculous it looks, and Clowitzer because it looks bloody cool with that huge, well, claw, self-explanatory really. And favourite video game memory, I have two. One's Linked Pokemon. Either blue or red, I can't quite remember which version it was now, but the first time I got to Cinnabar Island and got into the mansion where I knew I could catch a Coughing, which I was obsessed with from the anime with Jesse and James. So it's a toss up between that or completing Breath of Fire 4 for the first time, which just gave me all the feelings, because that was my first proper go through of an RPG. My buddy William asks, when the robot overlords take over the earth, will you ally with them or rebel? And also, swag. What is your problem with swag? I've only got 4.5 minutes. When robots finally do take over the world, I will ally with them at first because I don't have a soul being ginger, so I'll be able to pass off as an automaton or something. But then I'd probably backstab them and try and destroy them, and then claim all the credit and be hailed as a god, as me and many of my ginger brethren will do. Then we could reap all the souls we like. What is my problem with swag? Well, to be honest, there's a lot of answers to this one, but I've only got a little bit of time, so I'm just going to say, despite when one says the word swag is always related to Justin Bieber as far as I'm concerned, and that jumped up little git doesn't deserve any attention. So I've always just hated hearing the word because it's always associated with him, and little kids say it thinking they're cool and they're not. So Tyler, sorry buddy, but swag is bad. So everyone, thank you for watching and thank you for submitting the questions. Niall should be back very soon, and I urge you to check out the video me and Meg have put together over this last week, which is a segment we're calling Juice Box, where we sit down and we discuss rubbish really, but if you like Meg and you tolerate me, you probably find it entertaining. You can find a link there. So from me, my box of juice and my soulless existence, I say DFTBA, Jonah, I will see you tomorrow, and time to reap your souls. End screen, continuity error, I've had a haircut. Click up here to see part 2 of Question Tuesday, where I've answered the rest of the questions I received. Click up here for Juice Box, down here for Beer Town with Cyborg Birdie with special guest Skyhead Studio. Speaking of which, click down here to see We Live in Circles, a fantastic tribute to NFI, DFTBA.